All right, get in here, get in here. We are talking about how to work less and earn more. Okay, most people think that you have to work a lot of hours in order to earn a lot of money. But this is Noelle Randall here. I'm going to be talking about how you make hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like if I told you that you could make $370,000 every single month only working 4 hours a day. Most of you wouldn't believe me. And that is what Noelle Randall does. I've created multiple streams of income, started with one thing, and it's just multiplied. And I'm going to talk to you and teach you how you can do this without working all the time. Because most of you, I think that you have to work 15-hour days, 12-hour days. And I remember when I worked that hard and worked that many hours in order to earn just six figures, not even six figures per month. And today now I figured out how to work, what to focus on, and how to make multiple streams of income. And I'm going to talk to you and teach you all of that today. And these are principles that I'm teaching at my event that's going to be Saturday, January 24th, 2026, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Get your tickets at manifestwithnoelle.com. The last tickets are there. Use code FINAL50 to save 50% off tickets. But I want to go into that. Whether you come to the event or you don't come to the event, I want you to get this. So get in here. Come on. I see the numbers going up. Go ahead and click that subscribe button because this is something I've cultivated years over years. And I want to really get into detail because I think that most people don't understand that you don't have to be a slave to your company or to your business or to a job to earn lots of money. And that most people that earn a lot of money, they don't work 12-hour days and 15-hour days and, work a bunch of overtime. That's just not how you earn a lot of money. You actually have to work less, but it depends on what you're working on. So let's get into this, okay? I'm even going to pull out I'm going to stand up. I'm going to pull out a whiteboard because I want to really teach you guys. That's what I'm saying. Get in here. Come on, get in here. Let me get the whiteboard going. Let me put this here. All right, I'm going to put this here. Let's get this going. All right, let me get let me get this. All right, let's push the chair over. I'm going to stand up. Come on. All right. So, like I said, it's principles that I'm teaching at Manifest with Noelle. You can get your tickets. Use code FINAL50. But let's talk about working less. Okay. Let's work less and earn more. Don't think that working more hours is going to work. Okay. There's four main things that I'm going to go over. I'm going to get right in here. All right. Come on. Get in here. Get in here. The numbers are going up. Come on. Go on and get in here and hit the like button. Okay. So it goes to more people. That really helps the algorithm. All right. So go ahead and like the button. Thank you. Thank you. More of you guys. Just click the like button. Because like I said, I'm a real estate multimillionaire, but I started broke, bankrupt, and in my parents' basement. And I've learned a lot of these things. But more importantly, I've learned what to do with my time. And that's what I want to teach you and what you should be working on in your time to earn a lot more money, because working more hours is not going to do it. Okay. Thinking that you have to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and work 20 hours a day. That is not how you make more money. It's not how you earn more money. All right. So the power, this first one is going to come with this first lesson that I learned. Okay. And this is big. Okay. So let's talk about deep work. So I wake up in the morning. I've shared this with you. Okay. I wake up in the morning at 5 a.m. At the latest, between, 4, 5, 6 at the latest. Okay. And those early morning hours, I learned that because I have 5 kids and I would go to school and I would go to work, but it works even though I don't have my own job. I have businesses. It still work. The concept that you should do your deep work 4 hours in the morning. Okay. So let's just say from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. That is when you do your deep work. That is when you really take this to the next level. Okay. Let me explain to you. I remember back when I was starting out, I would be busy all day. Okay. I would just be busy all day. I would be checking emails, right? I spent a lot of times checking emails, responding to emails. I spent a lot of time scrolling, answering every single phone call. But at the end of the day, I didn't make any real money. Okay. If you're talking to people all day, you're answering emails all day, that's not usually how you make a lot of money. You have to start to do the things that's really important. So you got to come up with this plan. And this is very important. It's 4 hours in the morning. Okay. So from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., that's when I get into my zone of genius. Like, what does Noelle Randall do really well? So what do I do well? I write well. I write sales scripts very well. I write emails very well. I can meet with my team and tell them what the strategy is for how we should be marketing. So that's my zone of genius. And I stay in my zone of genius in that first 4 a.m. So what is it that you do very, very well? We'll talk about the other things. I'm gonna share with you the rest of them. But once you figure out what your zone of genius is, that's what you should be doing every morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. And you're gonna find out that that is enough. Okay, that is absolutely enough to get your business to that next level. And talk about it. I make hundreds of thousands of dollars every month doing this thing. And I would work 15 hours a day for $100,000 all year. And think about that. Now I'm able to do that in 1 month. Okay. Make the same money I would make all year in 1 month by waking up 6 a.m. from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. every single day and just making this a routine, making this a habit. And from one of the books I read, The Power of Habits. That's what he talks about this, and it's really is true. And pretty much every really successful entrepreneur, millionaire, billionaire that I know now, they get up in the morning, they do about 4 hours, and that is it. And multiple companies, okay, multiple companies, and because it's your zone of genius, for me, like I said, that's writing systems. Really important. So one of the things I'll write out like, okay, step one, step two, step three, so that I could delegate it to someone. All right. We're going to talk about delegation and how you really get more done through other people. But that gives me time to be creative, because if you spend all of your day just answering emails, scrolling, responding to phone calls and responding to all of that stuff, you're not actually able to be creative. You can't really create new products or how you're going to market the product, or what discount code we're going to do this week, or what's a new way to promote my product or my service. That requires creativity. And so if you're always writing, responding to emails, or you're always just on the phone all day, problem after problem, putting out fires, you can't be creative. You're not in your zone of genius. So you got to do that deep work first thing, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. And I'm telling you, billionaires do this. And so thinking that you can't do this is absolutely false. I started doing this when I had a job, and that's how I'm able to make hundreds of thousands per dollars per month with this. Okay. I'm not telling you something that I think, I'm telling you how it works. Okay. And we're going to go into this even more. Again, manifestwithnoelle.com, use code final50. So let's get to this next thing, because now we got to talk about what brings in your money. So like I said, I'll do my deep work because I'm doing what's bringing in deals, what's bringing money in the door. So I focus on that stuff and only that stuff. That's really what you as the entrepreneur, especially if you're kind of doing it with a small team or just you by yourself, because I don't believe that you need 50, 60 people to make this type of money. I don't have that. And when I had all of those employees and all of those people, I was actually just making less money, because I didn't get up and I would delegate things that I shouldn't delegate. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. But that deep work, your zone of genius, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. is going to be how you're going to end up working less. Okay. And when you focus on that, those high level tasks, the things that make you a lot of money, that's where you make a lot of money. You focus on the tasks that make you a lot of money, not answering emails. You can automate that type of stuff. So now let's get to the real deal. Okay. Because this is the one that it was like life changing to me. Okay. And we call it the founder flywheel. Okay. I'm going to talk to you about this in a second. The founder flywheel. So a flywheel is this mechanical thing, kind of like an engine. Okay. Think an engine, but think an engine that doesn't need constant. It goes on itself. So it starts to self-propel. That's what a flywheel is. So the founder flywheel is like how you're going to create the action plan. Okay. So you're going to multiply your effort. That's really what this is about. This is about multiplying the effort. This is about focusing on a personal brand that can make you a lot of money. And that's what I did with the founder flywheel. It's going to be around, the key is going to be around your story. Okay, all your marketing, all your branding, everything goes around your story. And this is like where where you, I'm telling you, this is where you make a lot of money. And this is why I say to people, what's the thing you've been through? Not just all of your accomplishment, but what's the thing that you've been through? Like, you can't talk to Noelle Randall for 5 seconds without me telling you I'm a multimillionaire, but I started off broke, bankrupt, and in my parents' basement. And my entire marketing for all of my different products and services is that story. Okay, that's the core of it. And so you're going to use your story for your whole flywheel. That's like the catalyst to your engine. Let me explain. Okay. So I realized early on that people don't just buy real estate, they buy from you. Okay. And so if I'm telling you I'm making all of this money when I first started out, just wholesaling, okay, just finding people that were behind on mortgage payments and getting them under contract. That's how I started making a lot of money. That was the first entrepreneurial thing, okay, that I did successfully. I took a class, got a coach, learned wholesaling. But I realized really on, and he told me it's not about real estate. And you don't go into there asking about their house and I'm going to buy real estate and what values are in the area. You never do that. It's about you. So I would tell them that I had been through foreclosure. I would explain what the foreclosure process was. I would tell them how I would even kind of sometimes break down, like the sheriff comes to your house, they pull all the stuff out, the neighbors were outside, and I would connect to the sellers with my actual story. And that's how I started getting tons of deals. Okay. Where, because people understood, like, whoa, wow, wait, okay, I could sell it to an investor instead of going into foreclosure. I could get them to understand what foreclosure meant and how terrible that was. So by sharing my stories, by sharing my failures, um, and even my wins online, now my attention fuels my whole business. Okay, it fuels me getting real estate deals, it fuels me getting views on YouTube, it fuels people buying my books, it fuels people coming to events, it fuels people renting my properties, it fuels people partnering with me. I have students that partner with me, so I have like a multi-million-dollar real estate portfolio. I have people that bring me real estate. Why? Because I got them to connect to me and my story, and it's a true story. We all have our real story, so I'm not asking you to make anything up. You have something that's your flywheel. You're the founder of the business, and it's your flywheel. It's the thing, it's the catalyst, it's the engine to all of your content, to your books, to your products, to how you market your products. You get that. Okay? You get that. So here's the action plan. Here's what you do. Okay? Because I told you all of that. You're like, okay, Noelle, what do I do? The action plan. Start sharing your journey. Okay. You have to share the journey. People love to see the beginning and where you're going. People love to watch my videos now and go all the way back in 5 years and see the difference. They love that. I don't take my old videos down. I don't take old content down. You go to my Instagram, you can scroll all the way down and see the olds because they see the progression and they see the growth. And people buy what other people buy. Okay, they buy what other people buy. That's a rule of marketing. People buy what other people buy and what other people want. All right, so that's your action plan. You got to start with your journey. Your personal brand is your pipeline to wealth. And most people are kind of a little bit vulnerable about sharing. Oh, I used to be broke, bankrupt, and living in my parents' basement. People have a problem with that. Like, I was a single mom. Was pregnant with my third kid before. When I moved into my parents' basement, I was pregnant with my third child. I had lost my job. I had bad credit. I had made a lot of mistakes. I share that, and that personal brand is a pipeline to wealth. That is hundreds of thousands of dollars per month now. Literally, my book alone, where I connect all of the secrets that I learned, is because you're connecting to my story in it and how I learned each secret. And like, okay, and it's like, boom, wow, this works. Okay. When your brand grows, then your business grows, right? So if you do this, as your brand grows, your business grows. And it's really simple. And it's $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, $50,000. It grows every single month as you just keep telling your story and as you just keep growing, as you keep showing them the things you're doing. So in my case, I keep showing the real estate. I keep showing the deals. I show it, put it on your Instagram, put it on your YouTube, show your journey. Okay. And eventually it starts spinning on its own. It doesn't even require you. Okay. And it creates like this referral flood because other people invest in the coaching, then they tell others and they tell others, and it just grows and grows. Okay. Somebody does a deal with me and then somebody else in their family, or they have another investor that wants to come in, and it just grows and it grows. So this part is like, I just gave you $1 million with that, but most people are also too scared to share their story and how to share it. Again, we'll go into that more in depth at Manifest, January 24th, 2026. Get your tickets, manifestwithnoelle.com. Use code FINAL50 because the event is this Saturday. So we're selling out our last tickets. FINAL50. That'll save you 50% off the tickets. VIP, people absolutely love VIP. You can get VIP. You'll get a signed copy of the book, Making It, with these real strategies for success. You'll get a manifest journal, and you'll even get a t-shirt. Okay. This is absolutely lovely. Hold on. Let me show you this. Okay. So if you get VIP, manifestwithnoelle.com, and you can use Final 50 to save 50%, you'll get one of these amazing t-shirts. Okay. And people love them. Plus the books, and more importantly, the books and the journal. Okay. Because the journal is absolutely phenomenal because it helps you accomplish your number one goal in just 100 days. All right. So let's keep going, because now we're going to take some fuel to this. Okay. With pillar number 3, I'm going to get you to pillar number 3. Now that you kind of got like how much money you can make off your story, and get out of your own way. We'll talk about that, how to not be afraid to tell your story. I don't care. I remember, your mama might, why are you telling that? Why are you telling that? That's my real life. I'm telling it. Okay. And how much money you make off of that. I think you would be shocked at how much you make off of all your products and your services when you insert your story into it, and how much easier it makes the content, how much easier it makes the deals and the coupon codes and the marketing and the content. It really does. Like, this is the pedal. So let me give you some more fuel, because now we're going to get into like some systems, and systems is how you make hundreds of thousands of dollars per month without working all the time. All right. So now let's get into systems, because this is the system. All right. And it is AED. Just that simple. AED. This is the system for creating that flywheel. Really easy, but really thoughtful. You just got to put this plan together, and it is simple, because there are things that you need to automate. There are things you need to eliminate, and there are things you need to delegate. Automate, for example, emails, content. You put the emails into the system through a system like Go High Level, for example. Okay, we have a system called Go High Level, GHL. Absolutely love it. It's a CRM, a customer relationship management. It keeps all of my customers together. It keeps all of my ads, my social media. It has, when I log in, it tells me how much money I've made and how much each customer. Okay, go ahead and like this video. More of you guys are coming in here. Come on, get in here and like this video. Come on, I got more of you in here. I need some more likes. Go ahead and just hit that like button. It helps so much. Okay, and automating. So just automating the emails. And again, you use Chat GPT and different things like that, and you just load them up there and it sends them out each day. And you're sending out content, and it's just automated. So now money is just coming in each day because people open the email, they see the code, they see what you're promoting. Maybe it's a deal. And just think about it. If you've ever bought something from Macy's or Bloomingdale's or any of these stores, they email you codes, hey, what's on sale? So automate that stuff, and it's super easy. So it has money coming in every day for you when you do that. All right. Then the next thing is eliminate. You need to eliminate. Most of the reason why you're not making a lot of money is because you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing. Okay. You're the founder, you're the creative person, you're the face. It's your story. It's you that's selling these products and these services. So it's really easy to make a lot of money if you eliminate the things that don't make you money. Okay. And most of us actually spend most of the time doing things that we should eliminate. So let's talk about action plan. Okay. Like I said, when I used to do everything by myself to save money, because that's what most of us think. I'll do it myself to save money, right? Come on, go ahead and like this. I know as an entrepreneur, your thought is, I'll do it myself because this will save money. But that is a you guys are laughing. Some people started laughing at LOL immediately, right? Because we know that doesn't make you a lot of money if you're just doing things to save money. It's like turning off the open sign so that you save money on electricity on your store. You wouldn't turn off the open sign to save money on electricity. That's the same thing of saying, I'm just going to do everything myself. So I was building websites, I was doing social media, I was answering my own support emails, I was answering customer service, I was answering DMs. That's a waste. Now I just do things that are at least $1,000 per hour. That's my minimum, $1,000. And you get to create that. You can say $500. You can say $5,000 per hour task. So for me, the minimum, it has to be a $1,000 per hour thing. Okay, for me to do it. Otherwise, I am eliminating or delegating. So let's talk about. I talked about automate, because this is the wealth filter. This is what I use every single day. AED. So don't do $15 hour sales calls when you could hire someone else to do that, right? Okay, so eliminate. It doesn't make you money or bring you joy. Stop doing it. That's the easy part to eliminate. E is going to be the easiest. If you are drained by it and it makes you sad and you don't want to do it in the business, it's probably something you're going to have to eliminate. Because a lot of times we do things that we hate, thinking that we have to. And that's not true. So if it's not bringing you joy, it doesn't bring you money, it doesn't bring you money or joy, stop. Like, stop. All right. But then the fun thing, automate. Like I said, you're going to put things like go high level. You're going to use chat GPT. You're going to use email servers. You're going to use funnels that automatically push people to the next page, different things like that. There's a lot that you can do with automation. And I'm giving you an example. Like, for example, if you go to manifestwithnoelle.com, here's a real example of automation and how you make you a lot of money. You'll go to manifestwithnoelle.com and you'll start to buy the ticket. And at the cart, it'll have a coupon, put final 50 to save 50%. And then after you buy that ticket, I'm going to ask you, if you buy a general admission ticket, for example, I'm going to ask you, do you want to upgrade to VIP? Do you want, the manifest journal? Do you want the t-shirt? Do you want the signed copy of the book? Do you want these things? I'm going to make you another offer of something else. And that's automatic. It's not something that you have to do. You program it into the funnel and it's one time and it goes over and over. If you went to any of my book funnels out, you pay for the book or the shipping, whichever one it is. Say you're buying, you got the book for free and you just have to pay for the shipping and handling. Great. Well, now, hey, do you want to come to one of my events? Hey, do you want this other book? Hey, do you want to have a call with me? I'm going to offer you more things. Automation, and it makes you a lot more money. Okay. And so you got to start. Don't be afraid of AI. We'll have a whole part on how we use AI at the Manifest event. I can't teach you, obviously, this here in this quick video because I don't want this to be I only got like maybe 5 more minutes here. You don't want to not be afraid of technology. You don't want to be afraid of technology because you need to use this technology. AI will help you in your business. Chat GPT, automating funnels, automating emails. There's a lot that you could do to make you a lot more money. I use it in my real estate business as well, finding deals, contacting the sellers, sending out offers, all of that stuff automated. There are technologies that are super inexpensive, apps that find me deals like Deal Machine. We'll get into a lot of that. And we'll even talk about just strictly how we use AI in our businesses to double our income. Because in 2026, if you are not using AI to double your income, you are crazy. So we have a whole part where I'll talk about that and finding funding with AI if you come to the Manifest event. So again, manifestwithnoelle.com, use code final50. All right. So now delegate. So in order to delegate, this is where most people get it wrong. But luckily, I will say this is one of the skill sets that I was able to come into my business and I was really good at because I worked in corporate America as a manager. So I know you delegate. You are the manager, you're the VP, and as I would rise, I would have lots of employees try to reverse delegate to me. I give them a task. Oh, I don't know how to do this. Or I got stuck on this part. Can you help me? No. That's reverse delegation. That's you delegated to them. They're trying to give it back to you. That is a fool's errand. And I was really good as a manager, realizing when someone was not doing their work and trying to give it back to me. So I was great at delegation and I still am. And you can get really good at that simply by training them on what you want. And that is so easy today because we have systems like Loom, Loom. Okay, where you can record a short video on how to do it, where you share your screen, you send it to your virtual assistant or your chief of staff or whoever you have, and this is how you do it. And I've trained you and you have that video. And the video even has a transcript. So even if it's one of my VAs in the Philippines, for example, it's written out for them. And there's a video showing them step by step. You put the person's customer's name here, it sends them here, and I make videos. You can use Zoom, you can use Loom. I don't know why they made them rhyme, but they're both really amazing for training and delegating. So it's very easy if you have a task in your business to make a short video on how to do it and delegate it to somebody else. That's just a few dollars per hour. Okay. Remember, you can get people in other countries, Cambodia, Philippines, in South America, that don't get paid as much as someone in the United States, and they're just as smart. They speak English well, they're really talented, they're very educated, but their money system is different than United States. So if you hired someone in the United States, it may be $50 an hour and they're $3 an hour. It's, you have to learn to delegate. That is how you can, that is the opportunity to make hundreds of thousands of dollars per month right now. Automate, eliminate, and delegate. Okay, you got to get into that. All right, so here is the last step. Okay, number 4, and this is where you get rich, and you can just do this over and over and over and over again. As I mentioned, we'll be talking about and teaching you at Manifest at the event. We'll be teaching you about how to get business credit. So I'm not going to get into that here. But the fun thing about business credit in businesses is you can set up the business, set up business credit profile, go to Dun& Bradstreet, get some trade lines, and you can do it over and over and over again. So you can get funded in multiple businesses and repeat, repeat, repeat. So every product, every service, whether it's real estate coaching or whether it's a product like a physical product like tea, I have this product, still the same philosophy. I automate, eliminate, I delegate. I use my story to sell the tea. Why do I like this tea? How has it worked for me, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so it doesn't matter the business. It can be a business that has a product or a service. This always apply. Remember, Noelle Randall has an MBA from Baylor University. I graduated top 10%. It works in every business. This is the core pillars of every successful business. And these are how multimillionaire entrepreneurs can run lots of different businesses and make hundreds of thousands of dollars per month, only working 4 hours a day. And this last one is really how you get done, because this is the person that you need. Okay. I told you some other things, but it's not just you. This is the one person that you need. All right. You ready for this person? They are your chief of staff. All right. Now, why would a chief of staff be something that you think you need when you first get started? Most of you are like, wait a minute, I don't have any money. I'm not making very much money in my business. But the chief of staff makes you a ton of money, okay? Because this is how you work less and earn more. This person, this is the replication of what you do, okay? And let's talk about that. So the final piece of the puzzle is the chief of staff. This is the person that protects your time. This is who protects your time. This is the person that you hire that protects your time. So you're not wasting time. You are not chasing after clients and calling and doing all of the follow-up yourself. This is the person that knows. So most entrepreneurs are burnt out because they are trying to be the CEO, the secretary, and the janitor all at once. They're trying to do everything. And like I said, that was the mistake that I made. And I was able to make $40,000, $50,000 per month like that. But when I scaled it, now it's hundreds of thousands. I can tell you really easily, it's this person. Okay. So when I first hired my first, this is your right hand. When I first hired my first right hand, my peace of mind went through the roof. Okay. They manage my calendar. They handle all of the noise. Okay. So if someone is maybe complaining about something or wants to talk to you and tell you these things or this new idea that they have, I have this person handles this, my chief of staff, my person that's my right hand. But here is how you wait. You don't wait till you're a millionaire to hire this person. You don't wait till you have millions. You get what I'm saying? Like, you hire this person. I hired this person probably around $500,000 a year. And that's when it easily went over, like, okay, to over $1 million a year, every single year, because this is like your first high leverage hire. Okay. This is you're leveraging your money for your time. Okay. You're trading a smaller amount of money for a larger amount of money. Okay. Because I'm going to pay this person some money, but they're going to bring me back more money. You get that. All right. So you look for somebody that's organized. This is really, really important, because if they're unorganized, it doesn't work. If this is somebody, you're looking for somebody that is just super organized, that person that has the spreadsheets, that person that has the notebooks with the notes in it, that person that has a good memory. If they're a disorganized mess, if they show up looking to the interview, show up to you talking, and they're disorganized, if they're late, that's the wrong hire. I can tell you off tops. I've hired so many people. I can tell you off tops. If they show up late, they're disorganized, this person doesn't work, because they have to be organized, because they are the duplication of you. Okay. They're the you out in the world, kind of. So they have to be very organized. They have to speak well and very confidently. You don't want somebody that's very meek and scared, because this has to be a person that is confrontational to certain situations, because you have to, in your business, you have to be able to confront issues. If there's somebody wants a refund, or if a product didn't ship out, or if there's a vendor that's going crazy, or if your taxes are behind, you need someone with a stronger personality. This can't be like a weak, meek, timid, disorganized person. So this is a highly organized person that speaks and communicates well. That's it. And that's why they can be from another country. That's why they can be not that expensive. It can be a VA that works as your assistant, as your chief of staff, or it could be your business partner, and they just are the chief of staff, and they're running like the operations, and you're doing the other stuff. So it really does depend on you. But you're looking for someone that is very organized, and you give them 100% context on your business. This is not the person that you hold back on. This is not the person that you just give a little bit and no, you tell them 100% context. You dive deep with this person, and it frees up your time. This is the thing that frees up your time, and this is what leads to that action. And so they're your second brain, so you can focus on the big moves. Plain and simple. You focus on the bigger stuff. So now you're not dealing with the 5,000 wholesale deals. In Noelle's world, now I'm dealing with the investor that has $250,000 for me. You get that. That is the key. And that is how you're going to work less and earn more. And we're going to get in this even more and dive into real detail about the business funding, because I don't even have the opportunity to do that, but you can actually hire someone to help keep getting you funding. And I've had people that start the business and they have business funding of 6 figures in 6 weeks. Okay, this is not something that takes years and years to build. And we'll go into that and how you fund these dreams, like these ideas and these dreams that you have. So manifestwithnoelle.com, use code FINAL50. I want you to comment and let me know what you think about each 4 of these, especially the AED, automate, eliminate, delegate. That is so important. The chief of staff, using your story. I cannot tell you how much money I missed out on being afraid to tell my story to every audience. I used it to get real estate deals, but then when I came in other arenas, I like with investors, for example, and at real estate investor associations, I would be afraid to tell them that stuff, because I thought they might judge me. But again, if it's truly your story, it is who you are, and you have to own your story and use it for your marketing. That actually became the go-to person, because I could describe exactly how foreclosures went to people and why they wanted to work with an investor, why it still made sense even for them to do seller financing, for them to do subject to, for them to move out of their home. And I didn't give them any money, but I'm going to take over the payments. All of those creative things that I did to build this multi-million-dollar real estate portfolio, and all of the books and the events, everything that I do, my story is at the center. I am the flywheel. I am the catalyst to all of the content and all of the marketing, and my story is. And that brings more and more people, more and more referrals, more and more deals. Okay. And the more you do it, the bigger it grows. I remember when it was just $5,000 a month. Now I'm telling you $370,000 a month. So just imagine for yourself, when you're thinking of getting your ticket to Manifest with Noelle, because I think that you should, manifestwithnoelle.com, use code FINAL50. How you are now going to get to your hundreds of thousands of dollars per month, because it is not difficult. It is just you making a decision and you changing a couple of the things that you do. You getting really focused on something that you do well, and me telling you how to put that money to it. You get that business funding, you use it for marketing, you create income producing assets, businesses, stocks, real estate. Simple. That's it. I own lots of businesses. I own lots of real estate. I own lots of stocks and bonds. Rich, simple. You can manifest these things. And I used to be broke, bankrupt, and living in a basement, didn't have a college education. Today, I have 3 degrees, 1 bachelor's degree and 2 master's degrees. But more importantly, I have millions of dollars in assets and an income, stable and consistent income. These are the things that you create. And these are the things that I learned that I'll teach to you for a very, very low price. And then you take it, you do it. That's important. You learn it, you do it, and then you teach it to other people. And then all of a sudden now we've changed our whole community. We've changed our whole family situation. We've changed our whole generational wealth and traditions of our family and what we got going on. And that is what I want for you. So I'm gonna get off of here. It's MLK Day. I'm excited. My kids are home. They're running around. I got to get out of here. But I wanted to come up here and teach you guys this because it is important. We are stronger together. And you have to start investing in yourself. So that's why I made this event, because it's really, really inexpensive. It's the only one this year I'll do. The rest of them will go back to just the funding and the real estate type of events. But this is for any entrepreneur with any business, because you can do this with any business. So share this video, like it. Come on, let's get those likes up before I get out of here. Come on, give me a couple more likes. I see over 100 people in here and not even 100 likes yet. So come on, let's get these likes up, because it does help. And I just want to make sure that you understand that I want to make sure that I'm sharing all of the knowledge, all of the resources, and all of the tools so that you can be successful. This is Noelle, to your success.